Hello, my dear students. This is Dr. Amita Tilan, Assistant Professor, Department of CS, Gurukul Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Raipur. Let us continue today our topic operating system introduction, and today we will see the topic is spooling. So before starting this topic, I want to explain something related to spooling. Initially, when operating system came into existence, then we had to give the input to the CPU, and the CPU executes the instructions and finally gives us the output. This was the initial operation of operating system. But there was a problem with this approach. In a normal situation, we have to deal with a number of processes, and we know that the time taken in the IO operations is very large as compared to the time taken by CPU for the execution of the instructions. So in the old approach, one process will give the input with the help of an input device, and during this period of time the CPU is in idle state. Then CPU executes the instructions, and then the output is again given to some output device, and at this time also the CPU is in idle state. So after showing the output, the next process starts its execution. So most of the time the CPU is in idle state, and this is the worst condition that we will have in operating system. So here the concept of spooling comes into play. Let us learn more about this. Spooling stands for simultaneous peripheral operations online. So in a spooling, more than one IO operations can be performed. So when we talk about operating system, then spooling is the most important concept that we must learn. Spooling is in essence uses the disk as a huge buffer for reading as far ahead as possible for input devices and for storing output files until the output devices are able to accept them. So here are the functions, some of the functions of spooling: that it processing data at remote sites, overlaps the IO of one job with the computation. Spooling is capable of overlapping IO operations for one job with the computation of other job, and it leads naturally to multiprogramming, which is the foundation of all modern operating system. Very important point. So let us see the block diagram to understand spooling. So for the above image, for this image, we can see that input data is stored in some kind of secondary devices, and this data is then fetched by the main memory. The benefits of this approach is that in general the CPU works on the data stored in the main memory, since we can have number of input devices at a time. So all these input devices can put the data into the disk or secondary memory. Okay, then the main memory will fetch the data one by one from the secondary memory, and CPU will execute some instruction on that data. So both the main memory and secondary memory are digital in nature, so taking data from the main to secondary is very fast. Also when CPU is executing some task, then at that time the input devices need not wait for its turn. They can directly put their data in the secondary memory without waiting for its turn. For doing so, the CPU will be in the execution phase most of the time, so the CPU will not idle in this case. This is the solution for the above mentioned problem. Here are some of the advantages of spooling. The spooling operation uses a disk as a very large buffer. Spooling has a direct beneficial effect on the performance of the system. Spooling can keep both the CPU and the IO devices working at much higher rates. In our next class, we will see a very important topic of operating system, that is multi-program system. Thank you very much.